and welcome. We are just opening up today's session here as we invite you all in to learn more about this upcoming program here at Wharton University of Pennsylvania. This program is Leading a Technology-Driven Organization. And as we make our way through today's session overview, we're going to have two key areas that we touch on here today. Firstly, you're going to learn all about the content for this program, so you're going to have a better understanding about the curriculum, who it was designed for, and what those overarching learning objectives are. By the end of this session, you're also going to have a deep understanding of the experience. So what is that experiential component? What is it like being a participant here in the program? So you're going to get the what, you're going to get the how as we make our way through. There's also a question and answer submission box. As you make your way through viewing today's session, if you have any questions at all, please put them there in that question box, and we'll ensure that a program advisor reaches out to you with an answer. We are joined by program advisors here in the question box answering questions throughout, so don't hesitate to let us know if you need anything at all throughout today's session. So with that, welcome to this global community of over 250,000 learners from all across the world here, coming together to learn shoulder to shoulder in really important topics. And this is one of those topics here today. We are joined by our keynote speaker and subject matter expert here, Karima Mariama Author, who is a program leader. Karima, would you like to jump in and greet the audience here today?
Yes, welcome everyone. We're so glad that you've decided to take this program. You're going to find that what we have in store for you is going to be amazing. And so if tech and innovation is your thing in terms of leading an organization, stay tuned.
I love it. It's so exciting to come together in this context and learn shoulder to shoulder, and certainly learn directly from you. So thank you, Karima, for being here. And thank you for your generosity of spirit and of time to take us through this program and really help us get that deep dive knowledge. So I'm going to hand over the spotlight to Karima here in just a moment. But we did want to set the stage a little further here as you think about this broader community that you're joining. Why learn here at Wharton, and what can you expect out of the experience? So just to get to know the school a little bit, we wanted to give you a little bit of information about the Wharton School. If you don't already know, it was the first collegiate business school ever. So the Wharton School really rests and stands on not only a tradition, a well-established tradition, but one that's deeply rooted in innovation and being at the cutting edge. So here at the Wharton School of University of Pennsylvania, it is recognized globally for doing just that, for bringing together intellectual leadership and ongoing innovation across every major discipline of business education. You're going to get a cross-disciplinary lens, and you're going to get a global vantage point here in this program. So this global community is one of the most well-published business school faculties. Wharton creates economic and social value around the world. And you can see here some of your alumni that you're joining here. There are 5,000 undergraduate MBA, executive MBA, and doctoral students, and more than 13,000 participants in executive education programs each and every year, with a powerful alumni network of 99,000 graduates. A lot of online programs here at the Wharton School to choose from, and you're joining more than 3 million learners worldwide who have access to these programs that are taught by Wharton's world-class faculty. So there's a lot in store here for you as you think about this broader community that you're joining, one that really centers itself on doing just what we're describing here, creating economic and social value around the world by really looking at a cross-disciplinary lens to advance business education. So to kind of sum it up, I'll read Dean Erica James as she leads us with this thought here. Today's environment means you can't afford to simply respond to or manage change. The best businesses must anticipate and even intentionally create change so as not to become complacent. At Wharton, we are excited to be the partner to help get you there. So this is the framing, this is the vision set forth here at the Wharton School as you think about the pedagogical approach to business education, as Dean Erica James wisely describes here, not just being able to respond and pivot, but really intentionally create and be the driver of innovation. So that is what this this program is designed to help you to do. And that is what the Wharton School is promising here in its educational experience. So this course is an exciting course. We're here to tell you more about it. I'm going to now hand it over to your program leader and subject matter expert, the star of the show here, to tell us more about the program. Just a final reminder to put those questions in the Q&A box. We do have advisors here supporting the session, answering questions every step of the way. So you have a lot of support here with you. Let us know what you need, and we're here to help. With that, I now hand over that spotlight again here. Karima, thank you for being here with us. I'm going to go ahead and let you take it from here.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to start now with a program overview, giving you the nuts and bolts of what you can expect during this weeks-long process. So the question for you is, are you ready to lead your tech-driven firm into the future? Well, we hope so. We know so because you're here today. We know that every organization has some component of technology within it. I don't care what the industry is. And so that's what makes this program really unique. We're really focused on strategic thinking, setting you up to understand how to manage uncertainty and drive innovation in terms of culture. Sometimes we just think of it as a strategic initiative, but these things really need to be grounded in culture. And this program tells you exactly what that looks like and how to do that. So we're going to, in a moment, I'll give you an overview of the faculty that you'll be experiencing in this program. They are industry experts and leaders who really focus on each little nuts and granny component of the program, starting with George Day. We'll flip Mr. Day. We're just going to flip through all of them really quickly here for you, just so that you can see who they are. Mike Useem, you've probably heard these names all before. Sonia Marciano, Paul Shoemaker, David Wussels, and Peter Capelli. Each of these individuals are uniquely positioned to give you some of the unique educational, didactic, but also very pragmatic components of how to lead change in your organization, whether or not you've considered it to be sort of tech focused. And so you're going to find a lot of value in their research, but also their case studies that you'll see here coming up as well. So what we want you to be able to take away during this 6 program are some key things. One, we want you to be able to rise up to the level of a strategic advisor, to be able to advise members of the C-suite and provide well-informed insights, because we know that teams really rely on this information, certainly at the departmental level. So you'll be really instrumental in that function. Also learning how to innovate strategically, because we want you to be able to find opportunities and present opportunities to be able to take your organization to its next level of strategic growth. Also to look at profitability, especially during uncertain times. Look at everything that happened with COVID. So we want you to be able to pivot on a dime, both forward and backwards. Also be able to guide your organization through an unavoidable tech disruption. Look, we've looked at these dinosaurs from time immemorial, right? Kodak and Blockbuster, and we've seen what they did right and what they did wrong. And we want to make sure that you're making decisions that align with avoiding tech disruptions. Also be able to look at your finances and convert those resources and be able to remove constraints that allow you to really maximize your profit and grow into the future. Also look at ensuring long-term success by creating an effective culture, because we don't really think about that when we think about tech, right? We're thinking about all the nuts and bolts and all the complex aspects of it, but really this whole idea is rooted deeply in culture, and a culture that thrives through innovation. Finally, we'll look at leading technology, leading your organization as one that is technology driven to be able to make it a team player on the world stage. Next slide. Is this program for you? Yes, we know it's for you, because you're uniquely positioned to guide your organization through a tech innovation in the future. So this program is for any individual who's looking at creating new opportunities to shape the future of their organization around tech. It is ideal, however, for those C-suite leaders and mid to senior level functional managers, as well as consultants and IT professionals who really look at aiming to guide their organization to new levels of success. We know that AI and tech are things that we just can't get away from, even though they seem a little complex and sometimes a little thorny, and we don't really want to embrace the change, but we know that change is here to stay. Sometimes it happens fast, sometimes it happens slow, and this is where we need to be when we're looking at the future. Next slide. Let's go over the specific modules so you can know exactly what to expect and really plan your schedule around the topical areas in this program. Module 1 opens with leadership challenges. Maybe you never thought of technology in terms of how to lead it and your role as a leader. Here we're looking at leadership capabilities and how you will guide your organization and its employees into thinking strategically, making decisive decisions, and being able to communicate persuasively. These are key fundamental leadership skills really functioning around executive presence. In this module, you look at discussing the difference that a leader makes within an organization because as quiet as it's kept, a leader is someone who really guides that vision forward. Also looking at demonstrating those attributes to your employees that get them on board and get you buy-in. What are those key leadership attributes and principles that help strengthen your leadership skill and also your persuasiveness? What are those key factors that contribute to strategic decision-making across the board and help you to address these universal challenges in real time? And finally, we'll look at describing how to communicate your presence, your leadership narrative, and your purpose at a higher level. And that is where you'll find Malcolm Yusim's insight incredibly useful. In this module, you're also going to get a plethora of important case studies, one that will show you what leadership looks like in real time and how you can glom on to what they teach. We're looking at Walt Disney, Rosalind Blewers, the CEO of Walgreens, IBM, Cisco, Marriott, and so many more that'll really help you to understand what organizations are doing at the cultural level and also at the C-suite level to help guide their organizations into a dramatic, new, impressive future. Next slide. In module 2, we're going to drill down and come away from the ideals of leadership and how we put those into functional practice by thinking strategically. Here, we're going to analyze those attributes that are really necessary for you to lead as someone who moves technology forward. Here, we're looking at, what is strategy and how is that different from tactics? And how do these ideas really affect an organization and its ability to be successful? We'll look at what are the elements of the Steinway strategy, because that is going to help you look at tech and strategy in a very disruptive way, really a contrarian way. We'll also look at discussing solutions to problems that require significant risks and investment, because we know that risk management is really an iterative process, and you're going to look at what that process looks like. But one of the interesting things here is you'll find that you're going to constantly be tuned in to make sure that you're identifying risk, that you're also looking at how it impacts your organization uniquely. What are some potential solutions, but then going back to check in and make sure that those solutions really serve your organization. You'll also look at assessing the unmet needs of the organization in terms of strategy. What are you doing now, but where are some gaps? Where are some blind spots that you need to really tap into to make sure that your organization can do what it was designed to do? And finally, you look at what strong strategy looks like from the ground up and how to really implement this as a strategic advantage for your organization. Here, we're looking at this particular case of Steinway & Sons, which really focuses on marketing strategy as a way to look at how they've used technology in leading their organization forward. And we all love the Steinway piano. So I think you'll love that one in particular. Module 3. We're looking here in module 3 at looking at how to profit from technology turbulence and uncertainty. As I mentioned, those dinosaurs from way back when, you're going to look at some of their missteps and learn how to avoid them so that your organization can move through them and really gain a competitive advantage by knowing what to do and what not to do. Here, we're going to look at examples where organizations have been both vulnerable and vigilant, so there's sort of a balancing act, if you will, or an integration of what those skill sets and experiences look like. Here, we're going to look at how do you identify the surprises, those unknown upsets that come to an organization when they haven't really looked at technology in the way that they need to, and what are those implications for their competitive advantage on the world stage. You'll also look at characteristics. What are those key characteristics of organizations that are both vigilant and vulnerable? But vulnerability is not necessarily a negative idea. We want you to look at that not just as, okay, well, these are some things where the organization misstepped or could have made a pivot, but how are they opening themselves up to being able to embrace change? So that's a dual idea that I want you to hang your hat on. Also, we'll look at evaluating strategies that help prepare your organization for the future, particularly around uncertainty and risk. And what is the value of scenario planning? I mean, really understanding the military does this very well when they talk about red teaming, but we're going to show you how to do that in the corporate arena. And finally, how can you identify opportunities to increase your organization's vigilance? We really want your organizations to be positioned to be able to tackle change, but as the dean said, really create it, because sometimes we need to do that from within. And what does that look like? Here, you're going to look at a variety of case studies and leadership examples from Volkswagen all the way to DuPont. They cross and span industries, which I think is really important, because you're going to see how these attributes really have a similar strand, even though they've shown up in different ways based on the industry. Module 4. In Module 4, you're going to look at what are the financial realities, because we promise that there's always a financial impact when you're looking at change, particularly around technology. Here, you're going to look at how to unearth these resources to assess your organization's value and really look at how to shape its performance. In doing so, we'll look at analyzing the value of a company based on its financial statements. There are so many critical financial statements that you'll need to look at, normally pro forma and also real time. So income statements, balance sheets, all that great stuff. You look at financial implications of adopting and implementing a new strategy, which would be different maybe from the way you did things all in the past in institutional memory. You'll also examine how an organization protects its competitive position in the marketplace, which is so key, because disruptors are always coming, to the table. And so how do you anticipate that? And how do you reposition yourself when it looks like things are sort of heating up in terms of competition and customer base? Finally, you look at how to identify financial performance and investing, because you're really going to want to be able to understand and track it in real time when your organization is moving through the various quarters, and how these things are regulated through the government, and also using very key financial metrics. Here, of course, you're always going to get a case study, and we'll look at two particular company examples that will help you sort of compare and contrast how they dealt with their own financial realities. Module 5. In Module 5, we'll look at accelerating growth and innovation. Here we're concerned about what are the key drivers that help any organization who is positioned and desirous of moving themselves to the next level globally. What do they really do around innovation, and how you can enhance this leadership and innovation narrative to accelerate its growth? Here we'll look at describing how to improve innovative capabilities within your organization, how to respond to, be proactive and responsive to innovation disappointments. Because listen, even though we are looking for all of the wins that we can create in this environment, sometimes things don't line up even when we've done everything right. So how do you deal with disappointment, move past it, and get to the next win? We'll also look at how do you allocate resources around innovation for both the short term and the long term, because here the vision is very clear, it's large, but we're also bringing it down piecemeal, as well as taking it years into the future. You'll also look at what are the benefits of collective curiosity within an organization. Are you really promoting innovation at the cultural level? Well, if we're not really sort of building this idea about loving curiosity and wanting change and what else is out there, then we're probably going to have some problems around really embracing change at the innovation level. Finally, we'll look at how innovation really aligns with incentives around rewards within your organization. How can you promote this energy around and excitement around innovation? And really at the departmental level, what can the departments do to really drive this idea through the employees, and so that they can tie their work that they're doing every day to mission, which is mission critical when it comes to innovation? Here you look at Amazon, because it is a world-class example about growth and innovation, from when it first began to start selling books all the way to selling everything around the world worldwide, and accelerating its user time, to your front door. So that's going to be a pretty amazing example that I want you to look forward to it. Well, next module. Finally, in Module 6, we'll look at people, because organizations are the sort of the mammoth of this situation, but they can't move forward without the people who move them forward. So people are paramount, and this module really focuses and drills down on human capital and what that looks like. What are the unique characteristics of individuals who work in technology and leadership? How can you build that workplace culture that we keep referencing, that really drives this idea of technology forward, and how you can embrace that on a daily during your daily experience? It's not just around this big project or this big technology or engineering project that's coming forth. This is something that you can do every single day within your workplace, within your culture. So to do that, we're going to examine what are the best practices for managing both the scientific and technical aspect of employee and human capital management. We'll look at characteristics of culture, that help us to drive technology. Also, project management strategies, how to be agile, how to be agile in the face of change, especially when you're looking at technology, how you can support innovation and technology throughout your organization, even in some unexpected ways. And finally, we'll examine strategies for managing organizational change at the universal level. Here, we're going to look at a few key case studies from Henkel, Merck, and ING, because they really exemplify the ideas around human capital and building these ideas and entrenching them in culture, which is exactly the point of this course. Next slide. Finally, I want to remind you that you are going to have an incredible opportunity to not only listen and learn as you're going through the Canvas modules, but you're going to have a workbook that really allows you to apply everything in real time, take the didactic and make it practical, make it pragmatic, and apply your learning to make sure that you're cementing everything that you're getting from this course. So some of your sample activities look like this. You'll be able to share your leadership, both positive and negative experiences that you've had within an organization. So there'll be a lot of sharing, discussions, dialogue, especially in our office hours. You'll be able to answer a question from employees as a CEO, really put on that CEO hat and sort of look at, if you were leading the organization, what would the CEO do? And so when you think like that, you can really start to raise the frame on how you would address these issues. You'll be able to share examples, both successful and unsuccessful, from strategies that you've been exposed to, or maybe seen from, third party, but really had an idea about what worked and what didn't. You look at problem solving that requires risk, and investment is another kind of risk. You look at Warren Buffett, because can you imagine us talking about this without bringing up Warren Buffett? His toll bridge analogy, which is really relevant for what we're doing in this course, of how to look at and assess unmet needs of an organization to provide them with a strategic opportunity. Imagine that. Imagine what you could do with your organizations if you had this secret sauce. We'll also evaluate your organization's talent investment, because we know for sure that HR is really not up to snuff when it comes to what organizations can do, and we're just breaking the surface of what is possible. And so this idea around really looking at talent and how to manage it for the future is really a credible idea for this course. And finally, how to evaluate your organization's response to failure, because we know no matter, even if we're doing everything right, things happen, but we can't go ahead and tamp down. We need to be be able to pivot on a dime and be able to move past this this plateau of arrested development to be able to be successful in our organizations.
So I think with that, it's my turn to jump back in here and grab that spotlight back from you. Karima, thank you again for being here and for so generously sharing your knowledge and your insights and staying on throughout the session to tell us more about what folks can expect. So Karima is going to stay with us. She'll be here all the way through the end. She's going to come back in and share final words of wisdom, final thoughts here in just a moment. But we did want to dip a little bit more in detail into the program experience to really give you some tactical knowledge about what you can expect here in the course. So as you know, this is a Wharton-led program led by faculty here at the Wharton School. There's a lot of different elements to this course, but what this looks like in real time, at the beginning of each week of this program, a set of content is released. And we start with week 0. Week 0 is a whole 7 days that allows you to orient with the program, get to know the learning management system, get to know your peers and your colleagues, and get prepared for that deep, intensive learning. Then week 1 will begin, and starting with week 1 and for the remainder of the weeks here in this program, at the top of that week, a set of content will be released, and that includes on-demand video lectures from your course faculty. These video lectures are 5 to 7 minutes. They're brief video lectures that dive into the core frameworks and the core methodologies. You'll then step away from those on-demand videos. So you can watch those videos as many times as you need to around a schedule that works for you. And those are those core learning elements from your course faculty. You can then step away from those videos and fully immerse yourself in this learning environment through a variety of other activities. These are listed for you here on your screen. You'll see several of them here. There are knowledge checks, discussion boards, activities aimed at helping you to make practical application of your learning, interactive surveys, case study analysis, allowing you to really examine various use cases from multiple different angles to get that full scope understanding. So all of these components, you'll be able to take the learning from these video clips, roll up your sleeves, and really interact with that content through these discussions and assignments that you're asked to do. So in many ways, we're able to break down some of the barriers of space and time that you'll have in a traditional classroom environment where there's a certain number of seats in the room, a certain set of minutes to get through a certain set of curriculum. Here in the online world, you're able to learn at your own pace around a schedule that works for you and in a fully immersive environment where as you're learning, you're making that real world application. So you're watching these on-demand brief 5 to 7 minute video clips, you're gaining those core understanding, and then you're really tinkering with that. You're putting that into practice. So we've designed this program to work alongside your professional role. So if you're a full-time working professional and you want to strengthen your knowledge here in this course and maybe springboard into career advancement opportunities, we wanted to design a program that would work hand in hand with your full-time role. So as you're learning, as you're making practical use application of your knowledge here in the course, you're also taking this into your organization and into your professional life in real time as well. So this environment is a highly interactive environment, a highly immersive environment where you are tinkering with and exploring these ideas in real terms, in real life, and within your organization. So there's a lot in store here for you as you think about this experience. The two words that we use to describe the program experience are interactive, and we've sort of described some of that for you here today, how interactive this program is. You've met your program leader, Karima. There are program leaders here in the course. There are the faculty that you get to interact with throughout the program, live faculty sessions and office hours, and a lot of engagement with your peers. So you have a high level of support and interaction. And then you also have a high level of convenience. You're able to access the platform from a mobile device or a tablet 24/7. You have access to this program for an entire calendar year. So beyond that immersive, sort of intense, 8 modules of learning here, what was it, 8 modules of learning here, or was it 6 there? 6 modules of
6.
learning, yes. So that intensive 6 modules of learning, beyond that 6-week intensive time, you'll be able to touch back into the program for that entire calendar year. So you have that convenience of a program that you can design around your own schedule, around your own availability, while also keeping a highly interactive and engaging experience where you have live components and a lot of opportunity to not only dive deeply into these topics and how they apply to your organization, but really get that broadened scope of understanding as well as you see these themes and topics coming to life for your peers in their geography, in their industry, and in their professional level. You get that deep understanding, you get that broadened scope of understanding, all of that helping to prepare you to make practical use application of your learning in real time. So this is our summary here. In short, we follow this bite-sized learning pedagogical approach, but you can also call it deep skills building. And really what this is, again, brief segments of learning and then practice, and then learning and then practice. So really learning in a fully immersive way as you go. The time commitment you're looking at here is 4 to 6 hours per week. So as you look ahead at your schedule, that's what you're looking to find on your calendar. And that 4 to 6 hour window is yours to pick. So it can be in the mornings before work, in the afternoons when the children are sleeping. You really get to design a schedule that works for you. Most of the content here, the workbook, the video lectures, the interactive surveys, the peer learning discussions, these are all in the platform asynchronously, allowing you to touch in around your own schedule. The live components, the live office hours, the live faculty webinars, these are scheduled in advance, but if you have to miss a live session, everything is recorded and posted into the platform the next day, and it's available for the remainder of your time in the program. So you'll have a simulated live experience available on demand at any point in time after that webinar is hosted live. So you have that opportunity again for that live interaction, but you also have that convenience of being able to catch up on anything that you do miss. So this course is designed to help support you, to really help you make that practical application and really advance in your knowledge, your skills, your experience, and your career. You're going to get a lot of support every step of the way. As you think about all the different relationships, I'm a visual learner. I like to think of it as sort of concentric circles of relationships that you're building here. You have yourself at the center, you have your peers who you're learning together with and from all regions of the globe, from all different industries and backgrounds and professional levels. A layer beyond that, you have your program leaders, professionals such as Karima, who are industry experts, leaders in their fields, who are hand chosen to come into this program and help guide your day-to-day learning, give you that individualized feedback on your assignments, jump on those discussion boards with you and your peers to really help push your thinking and drive engagement. And they really are the arbiters of all of your learning here in the program. They give you a lot of emails, a lot of communication. And as you think about reaching out for additional resources, you might discover a niche area of interest or have a topic area that you want to explore further. You can bring those to office hours. Your program leaders are right there. They're going to help you get connected to those resources. And in that way, you have a reciprocal learning environment here where you're really contributing your challenges, your questions, your knowledge, your expertise, and you're gaining that back. So you have your program leaders, and then a layer beyond that, your course faculty and this broader community here at the Wharton School. And of course, this alumni base that you're joining. So a lot in store here for you as you think about broadening your professional network, gaining the knowledge, skills, and experience that you need to stay relevant in today's current modern workforce. All of this driving towards a chance for you to earn a certificate, a formal credential here from the Wharton School. This is a sample of what it might look like. But really, again, those of you looking to advance your careers, this is a formal credential that's really going to showcase your learning and experience and help you to make those career moves that you're looking to make. So this is a digital copy. You can put this on your social media, bring it with you to at your job interview, and again, really helping to showcase your learning here. Ever more today than ever before, we know that the half-life of skills to keep us relevant today is about 5 years. So what that means is the skills that keep us on top of the needs of the day are going to be obsolete in 5 years from now. So no longer do you just go to school and learn sort of one sort of episodic learning approach, and then you're good to go for the career lifespan. But now more than ever before is a need to think about learning in a lifelong career span ways, these sort of micro credentials, this way to keep relevant, to keep skills building, and to keep thinking about ways that you can continue to upskill and have that overall lifelong learning journey. So sort of stepping away from an episodic approach and really staying current. The half-life of skills, again, is about 5 years, according to the World Economic Forum. And for technical skills, it's 2 years. So programs like this are really aimed at helping to meet that knowledge gap and give you the skills and tools that you need in order to continue to drive innovation within your organization. And as set forth by this vision here that Dean Erica James has sort of charged us with. So we're really excited to come together. This course begins just around the corner. We hope you'll join us. You can see it's a 6-week program, again, 4 to 6 hours per week. And the next step for you, if you haven't done so already, is to go on over to the course website. You're going to be able to download the full course brochure there. It's beautifully designed. This brochure gives you everything we've talked about here today and more. It's a comprehensive scope of this program. So you'll be able to download that brochure and keep that for yourself. You can also, you'll see here the second bullet, you can schedule a call with an advisor. So we do have a team of program advisors. They know all there is to know about this course. So any of the questions that you have related to the course logistics, the registration and enrollment process, or any course policy questions, how is it evaluated? Any of those kinds of questions they can help support you with. So right there from the website, you'll be able to, one click away, schedule a time for a phone call. Just select a time that works for you and someone will give you a call. And the third thing you can do from the website is start that application if you're ready to go ahead and join. So there's a lot in store here for you. Let us know what's on your mind. You have the support when you need it. We are, this course, we talk about how you're going to get that support, those relationships that you'll build, but we want to make sure that that support begins for you right here today with watching this session and getting connected with an advisor, either through putting a question in the Q&A box here today, or by going on over to that course website and scheduling an appointment. They're going to help you with anything you need as you seek to begin this program and explore other programs along your lifelong learning journey. So with that, we want to thank you all for joining us here today. I'm going to invite our keynote speaker back into the frame here, Karima, for any final words of wisdom, words of advice. Now, you're a program leader, you know how these courses work. Any expert tips that you can leave us with here before we close out the session?
Yeah, thank you so much for that opportunity. And thank you for really underscoring the idea of lifelong learning, giving us the great information about the half-life and even about the tech skills, because sometimes we forget that, but 2 years is not a long time. So I'm so excited that all of you have joined us here today, that you're interested in really gaining this knowledge to advance your standing as a leader in your organization to drive technology. So I would urge you to go ahead and find one of these ways to take your next steps. Start earlier rather than later. We're so excited that you are looking at leadership as something that you're embracing for the long term, and we cannot wait to engage you. Any questions that you may have between now and the start of this program, please do give us a note. We'll be getting back with you very quickly to answer all of your questions and make sure that you're well prepared for this incredible program.
Thank you again, Karima, for being here with us and for sharing your knowledge, your experience, and for all of your work here in the program as well. As a program leader, we certainly could not do this without your support and without your help. So grateful for you. So for all of you who are still with us here today, we want to turn the spotlight over to you and thank you as well for being here. It's been an absolute honor learning together with you. We hope that you'll join us just around the corner. Thank you to our program advisors who are here with us, helping to support the session as well. This is truly a global team effort, and we hope that you'll join us on this exciting adventure. With that, we sign off here today with a heartfelt good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to all of you from around the globe. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you back in the program. Bye-bye.